Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the State of the Community. Along with Superintendent Bill Wagner, we love to bring the message that we have from the city and the schools to you, the residents. A special thanks to Andrew and Alex for all their wonderful work in videotaping and interviewing all of the directors and the chiefs at City Hall. It's been a fun project to do, and I hope everyone sits back and enjoys it this evening. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to Fairview Park City Hall.
I'm Bridget Hinkle. I am the Administrative Assistant for Mayor Patton, for the Service and Development Director, Sean Leininger, and for the Law Director, Joe Gibbons. I also maintain the city's website. I compose most of the city newsletter. I'm in charge of the marquee, so if you have messages, I'm the one you call. And so now here are the other departments here at City Hall.
Gregory Single, Finance Department. I'm the Director of Finance. So the Finance Department handles all the revenues that come into the city and then all the expenditures that go out of the city. So we don't expend a lot of money in finance. So major expenses for us would be computer software, things that will allow the department to run more efficiently. So 18 for the city of Fairview Park was a good year. We balanced the budget. We were able to grow our fund balances, which is good. One of the goals of the administration is to maintain healthy fund balances, and we were able to do that in 2018. The audit came back clean, which again is a goal of each year. So those were the two biggest accomplishments in 2018.
My name is Monica Rossiter, and I am the Community Development Planner for the City of Fairview Park in the Development Department.
What were your biggest accomplishments for 2018?
It would have to be the completion of two of our park projects. One is the Nelson Russ Park Improvement Project, and the other is the Granite Park Improvement Project. Both funded through grants through the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and Cuyahoga County. We received funding through Cuyahoga County and NOPEC, which is Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, for the repair and restoration of our senior center roof. So that was a huge achievement to receive that grant funding. Another one of our greatest accomplishments was receiving funding for a new senior center bus, which is going to be delivered in May of this year.
Hello, my name is Joe Gibbons. I'm the Law Director for the City of Fairview Park. So I had the good fortune to be appointed by the mayor just this past January, and then approved by council. So the law director is responsible for attending to all of the legal issues that a city faces. And the city is actually, similar to a business. It's actually a municipal corporation, and it has many, many legal issues. The city contracts with individuals and entities, vendors. So there are contractual issues. The city has employees, so there are employee-related issues. And the city, on occasion, gets involved in legal disputes, and those have to be either prosecuted or defended. So just about any type of civil matter.
We had several things that went on last year that were good. Some improvements to the police department. We got some improvements to our reception area, refreshed the look of it and made it new carpet, etc. We obtained a grant for tasers, as well as received a donation from the Fairview Park Auxiliary Police Association. We bought 15 new tasers and all the equipment that went along with it. In March of 2018, partnering with the county, we were awarded one of the 20 different locations in the county that got the automatic license plate reader cameras mounted in a location in our city. We had over 7 stolen vehicles recovered last year because of the use of that particular equipment, and it's been working out real well for our investigations. We also partnered with the county and got an automatic fingerprint identification system. We're part of the county network now, where we take the fingerprints of people that we arrest electronically through like a scanner, a super high-end scanner, which will get the actual ridges of your fingerprint. We also last year, one of our larger purchases, we got a new detective car, and we were having issues with the detective vehicles where they were constantly in for service and were not in the greatest shape. So we decided that we were going to buy a new car. It should last at least 10 years now, and we can also use it for undercover purposes because it doesn't really look like a police car.
My name is Tony Raffin. I'm the fire chief for the City of Fairview Park Fire Department. We have 24 full-time members. That's broken up in between 3 8-man shifts, and at any given day we have 6 guys on duty. So last year, some of the biggest accomplishments, we had quite a few. We started with the purchase of this vehicle, Truck 31, replaced our old Truck 31. We also were the recipients of the Assistance to Firefighters grant through FEMA, and with that we were able to buy all new self-contained breathing apparatus, which are the tanks that you see firefighters wear during fire suppression operations. That was about $113,000 worth of goods. We also were able to get, through grant funding, a thermal imaging camera which helps see through the smoke, a Lucas machine which helps in assisting CPR, and we also got a grant from the Bureau of Workmen's Comp for hoods and gloves that help in protecting the firefighters during the fire operation. So quite a few accomplishments over the year. It was a little bit busy, but we like it that way.
My name's Steve Owens. I'm the Director of Recreation for the City of Fairview Park. The biggest accomplishment that we made last year was the completion of Nelson Russ Park on 223 in Macbeth. That is a green space that used to house our recreation department. After the Gemini Center was built in 2008, the green space lay dormant until last year when the project was completed. The biggest purchases that we made were the completion of Nelson Russ, and this year we also have our roof project that we're completing, where we're completely replacing the roof over the natatorium here at the Gemini Center. And other than that, our main purchases have been to improve the infrastructure of the Gemini Center itself, things like LED lights throughout the building, things like our alarm system, things to basically reinvest in the Gemini Center to make sure that it's here for future generations.
Hi, I'm Regina Sillison, and I am Director of the Fairview Park Senior Life Office, also known as the Senior Center. Our biggest accomplishments for 2018, we've got 2 major. I'm awaiting the delivery of a new vehicle, a 12-passenger with wheelchair lift. That should be ready in the beginning of May, and that's a pretty big purchase, but we did that through the help of NOACA and a grant from them. And thanks to Monica Rossiter for getting that, because it's a huge chunk of money for us and able to replace one of our very aging vehicles, which is pretty much falling apart. So, and our other purchase for 2018 was a software called My Senior Center, and it helps us keep track of the usage of the building and keep track of all activities and how many people attend each one.
Good afternoon, Walter Maynard. I am the building commissioner for our building department. We do inspections of new construction, violation inspections, commercial and residential. And we're currently on location at one of our newer homes on Thomas Lane. This is mid-construction. There's actually guys here working today. They're doing some insulation, and there's no heat, so we're going to keep this short. We inspect about 2,300 different inspections a year in our department. There's last year $42 million of investment in our community, commercial, residential. That's new construction, that's remodeling, that's new businesses, investing in our buildings. And our department's part of the whole process from start to finish, a new build, a remodel. We're here to help all the businesses get going. Cooking appliances, make sure all that they're up to code, the installations, electrical, plumbing, HVAC work, framing work. We're here to help the residents. We're here to help anybody who needs some help in our city when it comes to any of our construction. Like I said, this is one of the newer homes on Thomas Lane. There's 2 left to build. This one's halfway through right now.
My name is Sean Leininger. I'm the Director of Service and Development for the City of Fairview Park. So in 2018, we purchased a new asphalt roller. We also then invested in a lot of small equipment and tools to help support our crews. So we bought a new vehicle lift for our mechanic in our garage. We also bought equipment for our city forester. We have a forester that goes around and maintains street trees. As far as projects that we completed in 2018, probably the one thing I'm most proud about is from the development side of the departments that I get to oversee is the range of businesses that we welcome to the community. We welcome LJB, their professional engineering office. We welcome Andreco Insurance. They relocated their offices from Rocky River. We also then had Red Robin open up on the restaurant side, and on the service business, Custom Fit Kids opened their facility right on Lorraine Road, and Gone to the Dogs are relocated from a little bit farther down near 223 to just across the street from Gunzelman's. On the service side, we had a number of key projects kick off with the Lorraine Road corridor study. Looking at Lorraine Road, how we can make it safer, how we can make it more walkable, more beautiful, and other improvements that we can make to help support businesses and the larger community on Lorraine Road. We also kicked off our Clifford Drive sewer replacement project. This is the replacement of sewer and water lines from 212th Street to 220th Street, and also from 227th Street to 229th Street. One other accomplishment of note is the voter-supported mixed-use rezoning on Lorraine Road. What this did is it reinstituted mixed-use zoning along our corridor, our business corridor, so that property owners and businesses could continue to reinvest in their businesses and their buildings by mixing uses and really making, in some cases, a lot of the residential uses that are already there, making them what we call conforming to our zoning code again. So that was a significant accomplishment that we achieved last year. We're here at the Clifford Drive Sewer Replacement Project. We're standing at the corner of West 215th Street and Clifford Drive, really at the heart of the overall project. It extends all the way down to West 212th Street to West 220th Street. The reason this project is important is all these side streets, West 215th Street, 217th Street, 219th Street, and so on, all of their storms and sanitary sewer lines all flow into this main trunk line called Clifford Sewer, works its way down to West 220th Street before then it heads over to Spencer Creek, stormwater, and the Rocky River wastewater treatment plant if it's sanitary sewer. So by doing this project, we will have tight sewers that won't allow water to escape them or get into them, and we'll also have some increased capacity that'll help carry the flows that we need to carry through this area and help not only Clifford Drive, but all the side streets that are on either side of it. This is approximately a $3.4 million project. And we were fortunate to receive financing assistance from the Ohio Public Works Commission. 50% of the cost of the project is in a grant, and the other 50% is coming in the form of a loan from the state of Ohio.
My name is Eileen Ann Patton, and I am the mayor of the city of Fairview Park. We were very successful in receiving an awful lot of grants. And grants are part of our general fund money. So we were able to really enhance our fire department as well as our police department with a lot of the grants that we've received. So that's a very important part of the operations of our city. The finances of the city are very, very critical for the success of a community. And it's important for the residents to understand that we operate off a general fund. Now, a lot of people say, how do you make up the general fund? And that's property taxes, income tax, permits and fees. It's also local government, which has been slashed in half, and it used to be the estate tax that was taken away from us. So we put all those dollars together into the general fund, which estimates about $11 million, and that's what we have to spend for the entire year. So I guess one of the biggest expenses we have every year is employee salaries. That's where 80% of our general fund goes to. You know, as we talk about the finances of our community, it's really important to point out who we were and where we are today. And halfway in between, in 2010, when we had one of the most critical deficits across the country, Fairview Park was certainly not exempt from that. With the decrease in the funding from the local government fund, as well as the removal of the estate tax, our NASA buildings closing, and as we were trying to rebuild Westgate as it was reconstructed, we hit some very serious financial times in our community. We had a $1.8 million deficit that we've had to climb out of, and it took a number of years to make that happen. And that is due to very smart finances in our city, all of our directors and our chiefs working very hard at keeping their budgets intact. When people would retire, we did not rehire. We worked smaller, leaner, harder. We continue to do that today. And we are very proud to say that even though we had a $1.8 million deficit during those critical years, we are having a $2.5 million in the plus as we end this coming year. So and that is great thanks to our residents for their support, as well as all of the wonderful staff and employees here at the City of Fairview Park. Many times people ask me, what are my biggest accomplishments? I find that to be a very interesting question. And I like to answer it that I had an opportunity to check all my boxes off. When I ran for mayor, I had 5 things I wanted to do. I wanted to demolish the motels, I wanted to redo our parks, I wanted to really have a great sewer plant put into place, build the construction of the senior center, and of course create a development department. And I can happily say that due to the support of the residents that we have in our community, which I will be forever grateful, the wonderful staff here at City Hall that has been very supportive in all of our projects that we have done, we have together been able to check off all those boxes. So we continue with our sewer projects. You know, everyone knows about the Clifford one that's going on. We continue to improve our parks. We have 2 grand openings this year. We had one last year of Grannis, and this year it's going to be Nelson Ross, and we're very excited about that. Our senior center is thriving, and our development department under the leadership of Sean Leininger has just developed into very thriving and exciting projects that we're working on within the city. So those are kind of the things that I like to talk about, you know, that we were able to check the boxes, kind of like finishing your bucket list that you wanted, and that's kind of what we've all done together, working as a group here, the residents, the employees, and my great staff here.
What are your goals for 2019?
For the calendar year 2019, my biggest priority right now is we had a police officer that left last year, and I have one that's leaving this year, is going to be retiring. So we're going to be replacing those people. The greatest asset that we have in our police department, and the thing since I've been chief that I'm most proud of, is the people that I've brought on as some of the older officers retire and we replace them. And it's a big investment when we hire somebody, because you're making a 25 to 30 year investment in, you know, for the city. I'm trying to get the replacements for these other 2 officers and get, you know, good quality people that are going to serve the residents of Fairview very well. And that's, I'm looking into that. And then the other big project that we're doing, we've never had a female locker room. We have a female officer, 1 right now. We have 3 female auxiliary officers. We have our 2 clerks who are also matrons, so they don't really have the same facilities that the male officers have in a locker room. So we're working on getting an ADA approved female restroom and locker room area for the female officers and any future ones that might come in. And we're also revamping the male locker room area that hasn't really had any renovations other than a coat of paint since about 1970. So that's the 2 big things that we're focusing on this year.
Goals for 2019, all right. We have some very exciting streetscape projects happening in 2019. We received funding through the Northeast Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency for improvements to Center Ridge Road. So we're actually working in coordination with Rocky River to improve the streetscape for better walkability and pedestrian access. We're hoping to increase the use of public transportation through these improvements and make it a more viable corridor for businesses.
Biggest accomplishments for us would be to make sure that the audit comes back clean and that the budget is balanced. the budget is balanced, and if we could grow the fund balances for future contingencies, that's a bonus.
For 2019, we look forward to adding a full-time property maintenance inspector to help out current residents who may need some assistance and just some knowledge on repairs to their house, or we're able to identify some concerns that they may want to add to make the investment into their house or business property. Try to keep everybody happy. It's been a great trend, and we hope the trend continues.
Next year, it's tough coming off of 2018. We had a very busy year, very successful year as far as grants and purchases. This next year, we'd like to do some integration with our EMS, our patient care reporting system, and the hospital so that they can talk a little bit better together. Also, just like to continue with the continuing education for the firefighters, the paramedics, make sure that they're up on top of their game with that. And we also have the insurance service organization coming through, the ISO is coming through, and we'll hope to keep our ranking as a number 2 ISO rating, which is one of the best around.
Well, our goal is always to provide a safe and happy environment for everyone that uses the facility. I set a goal this year for a 3% increase in membership. This year we reintroduced the Once a Member, Always a Member program, which will allow people to obtain a membership that once had a membership and possibly moved out of the city, and that would allow them to continue their membership as long as they left their membership in good standing. So that's one of the goals. The other goals that we have are we want to increase sponsorship by 50%. And we also want to increase our participation for our youth organized sports programs by 5%.
Our goal for 2019, I'm working on it right now. We are trying to put together a produce market for citizens of Fairview Park, but mainly the seniors. And it is in collaboration with the Bay Village Senior Center through a program with the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. And it would be a market once a month where people can come in and get up fresh produce and quite a variety of it as well. And it's in very good shape and it's free.
In 2019, we're going to continue our Lorraine Road Loan Program. We're going to explore other options with our partners, the Cuyahoga County and U.S. Small Business Administration, to see how we can expand that program or bring more money into that. Fortunately, it was successful. The downside of being successful is that it's low on funds. So we hope to put some more funding into that program so we can continue to offer that service. We started the Clifford Sewer project last year. That project will be completed this summer. It'll conclude with a resurfacing of the roadway. We'll replant some street trees and hopefully be done with that project and move on to the next thing with improvements to our sewer system to help alleviate basement flooding in the community. We'll also start our Lorraine Road Streetscape project. This is a project that will run from West 221st Street to the North Olmsted border and include replacing sidewalk and curb that is in disrepair or needs replaced, as well as then removing the concrete tree lawn and replacing that with street trees, grass, and other vegetation to help soften the street, help improve stormwater, and provide an overall just beautification to what is otherwise a fairly harsh hardscape through there. And of course, we'll always continue our annual programs for water line replacement and street repair program that are funded by our tax dollars and the water bills that our residents pay into Cleveland Water. So those are the main focus of what we'll be doing in the next year.
So Mayor Patton has been the driving force for all of our projects and has been a great role model for me, and she is so involved in all of the important projects happening in the community. She truly cares about the city of Fairview Park. She's been wonderful to work with, and I'm going to be really sad to see her go.
The mayor's been great to work with. She gives us a lot of autonomy. She's very supportive of the department, anything we've ever asked for. She's been very accommodating, and again, she gives us a lot of autonomy and lets us function independently as needed, but she's very hands-on when needed to be.
Mayor Patton is a great mayor for all the residents in Fairview Park. She recruited me 7 years ago, and I was happy that I was able to fall into her lap here in the city, and it's been great ever since. I look forward to many more years and many more mayors.
Mayor Patton has been nothing but supportive. From the moment I became chief, she's always helped us do the things we did, whether it was small, whether it was large, whether it was something as simple as buying some supplies or buying the truck. She's always been behind us 100% of the way. So I have nothing but tremendous amount of respect for what she's done for us. Really, without her, it wouldn't be possible. Without council, it wouldn't be possible.
Mayor Patton has been incredible because there are other cities out there that don't support recreation, that view recreation as an expense rather than a necessity. Mayor Patton has given this department anything we've ever asked, as long as it's going to benefit the community and the patrons involved. She's not a hard sell when it comes to providing for the people in this city, and I'm eternally grateful for that. And our entire department, the Gemini Center and the Department of Parks and Recreation, is eternally grateful for her constant support and her passion for recreation and understanding that it is a vital part to this community.
Well, Mayor Patton has always been supportive of the senior center, supportive of taking care of our seniors. So the mayor is behind the seniors, and she's always been there for us.
So Mayor Patton has been fantastic to our department, supportive of our department, and helped lead and guide us through the last 3 years. And actually, if you step back and look, and I have only had the benefit of working with Mayor Patton for the last 3 years, but if you look back through her whole career and everything that she's accomplished in this city, from the raising and redevelopment of the former hotel sites, West Valley Medical, East Coast Custard at the other end of town, that alone is a testament of itself. But then when you factor in the redevelopment of Bulkin Park, what she's been able to do with Grannis Park and its redevelopment, the redevelopment of Nelson Russ, our sewer infrastructure, make improvements that alleviate over time basement flooding, continue to invest in our streets, help support businesses and thinking outside the box with the Raynord Corridor. And that was all as a result of Mayor Patton's leadership and her support. She's been a tremendous asset to the community, to me, to our staff, and we're going to miss her. The next person's got some pretty big shoes to fill.
Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this evening. I hope you learned a lot about our city and our schools. And this evening has now come to a conclusion. Thank you so much for attending. And I hope all of you, all of the very supportive residents that we have here, have a great summer ahead. Thank you.